Hello, I'm Paul Alger from the UK Fashion and Textile Association, and I'm here with Emily White and Ailis Dewar of Alex Begg in Scotland. Thank you for joining us today. I'm delighted to have them with us as part of UKFT's celebration British Textile Week, which we're organising this year in collaboration with the Clothworkers Company and the Campaign for Wool. The whole idea of British Textile Week is to celebrate the design, the innovation, the technical and the qualities of British textiles from around the four corners of the UK. And I'm delighted that the team at Alex Begg have taken time out to talk to us today and also to show us some products, because that's really exciting, some wonderful vibrant colours. So first of all, if I can start off, Emily and then Ailis, please introduce yourselves to us.
I'm Emily White and I am Design and Sales Director here at Alex Begg. So I look after our design studio team and our team of account managers who look after the brands that we work with externally. So anybody who wants to develop anything that is bespoke to them with their own name label on it.
Brilliant, thank you. Ailis.
Hi, and I'm Ailis Dewar, and I'm a designer at Alex Begg, and I work as a part of a team of 8 of us in the design studio, looking after new product development, bespoke customer projects, and new trend research going forward.
Wonderful, thank you. Emily, can you tell us about Alex Begg? You're based in a beautiful part of the country. I was privileged to come up and visit the factory with our president, the Princess Royal, last year. Seems a lifetime ago, but not a lot of people probably know what Alex Begg does. So please tell us.
I think we're quite a well-kept secret, actually, and probably a lot of our neighbours here in Ayr don't even have any idea what goes on behind the factory doors. So we're tucked away quite central in the town of Ayr, and we moved here in the early 1900s. Originally we were based in Paisley, and we moved here because Ayr has a fantastic quality of clean water, clean air, and that was what was needed at that time, and we've been on this site here ever since. So we have 2 parts to our business. Alex Begg, which is the side that I take care of, is the wholesale, Alex Begg, which is the side that I take care of, is the bespoke side of the business. Anything which anybody wants to put their own brand label onto, we can help them to design and develop. So Ailis is one of our talented design studio team, and she would work along with the account managers with the customers to bring their ideas to life. And it's very much, rather than just a pure selling activity, it's very much a collaboration with the customer that we have. It's all about the product development, making sure that we're getting the perfect product for them, for their collection, something that says something about them to their customer, and that is absolutely perfect quality.
So Emily, could you also please tell us a little about the branded side of your business?
So we also have our own in-house brand, which is Begg Co. And this is managed by a separate team from mine. From my perspective, they're almost like a customer, but a customer that we know very well, because they're also a part of our company. So we have some teams that cross over, but in terms of the building of the collection, the selling of the product, it's a different business, because it's a wholesale business. It has its own direct to customer website, and it's very much our identity, but it's handled by a separate team.
That's great, thank you. Design is really important in your collection, and I've seen a dramatic transformation over the last 3 years when I've seen what you do at Paris Fashion Week and at Petit Uomo in Florence. Ailis, can you tell us a little bit about the design in the collection, perhaps the inspiration, trends, and maybe I can tempt you to give us a little bit of an idea of what might be coming up for autumn/winter 21, if that's not putting you on the hop.
Of course. For this collection, we look towards our surroundings and taking a step back, a moment of calm in the chaos, and almost looking at the little things around us. So I can show you some mood board images where we were looking at Scotland, but in a sense of maybe like keepsakes from a walk on the beach, and the pink thrift of the coastal flowers, movement and line that's found all around us in nature, and colour as well. We're very fortunate to be surrounded by sort of acid lichen, and our sort of picturesque little bothies, which kind of promote that sort of adventure as well. It was a bit like if you were, a lot of imagery we're looking at, if you were on an adventure, what would you need? Sort of your maps, tools. Some of our fabrics I could show you. Again, we've got a sort of a variety in our collection from 100% cashmere through to blends and wools.
If I can just add, the purpose of our Ailis Begg collection, which is the collection that we present at Premier Vision and also at Blossom, is very much to showcase our capabilities as a design studio and as a weaving mill. So we always have a broad variety of compositions. We try and have as broad a variety of design styles, whether that's graphic or more classic designs, because it's to show really the breadth of the creativity that we have to offer. The purpose of the collection is to entice our customers into thinking, oh, it's an interesting design. I wonder how my logo would look in that, because it's very much about what our customers might want. So as a collection, it's to showcase our capability.
And then from there, you will work with the customer to find out what works for them. So it's very much a bespoke service you're offering.
Yeah, the collection is a starting point for a conversation. So if a customer has something in mind, they might contact us and say, this season we want to have a look at cashmere blends and we want something which is quite graphic, and we would then be able to send them from our collection some examples of things that we've already made that they can then change according to whatever particular trends they might be looking at that season.
Great. That brings us nicely on then to my next question to you, Emily, which is, how is the market changing? So we know that COVID-19 poses a dramatic series of challenges to all British textiles and all businesses around the world, but are you noticing any key trends in the way that your buyers are changing the way they buy? Are they buying closer to season? Are they asking for different things?
I think what the pandemic has done is to almost speed up some of the changes that we were already gradually starting to see. One of a really big story that has come out of it is a focus on sustainability. A lot of brands and a lot of individual consumers are thinking more about their responsibility, and this is something that we've worked on for some years now, and it's an important focus for us as a company. It's also an important focus for our owner. We're part of a group of companies known as Linden Grippen. And sustainability is very much at the core of what Linden Grippen does and what Linden Grippen requires of the businesses within the group. So for me, it's encouraging to hear so many of our clients and just a lot of people talking about the importance of sustainability now, because it is something that we really believe in. believing in a responsible way of doing business, so that we're leaving positive impact and creating a footpath into the future rather than leaving messy footprints behind. So I think this has been really interesting.
So being kind to the planet, but also being kind to the people, which I think is very important to have those two things in a business. And obviously when you're dealing in yarns and dyes in particular, are you being asked for different types of yarns, different types of dyes with that in mind?
We're working very closely with our suppliers. We have a sustainability manager who goes out and audits our supply chain, and we're very involved in being as proactive as we can on all sustainability topics. Obviously our supply chain is an important one, what chemicals we use, where we source our yarns. It's a huge topic, but there is also very much a driver that comes from our clients as well. So different clients might have different versions of a sustainability framework that they work to, and we're able to accommodate whatever their metrics are. We're able to engage with those, but we do very much like to be on the front foot and proactive about it, so that it's something we're not just doing it because the client is asking us, it's something that's important to us. Fantastic if the client is also interested, and but really for us that's a bonus if the customer is interested. It's more about a principled way of doing business.
That's great, thank you. And the final question from me is, and it's always a bit of a tricky one, is what in your view makes British textiles so special? And of course, because of where you are, I'm also going to ask you, perhaps unfairly, to tell me what makes Scottish textiles so special.
What I love about British textiles is we have a fantastic heritage. It's such an important industry and has been for so long in the UK. So it has all of these wonderful traditions, but I think perhaps there's a misconception around British textiles, that perhaps because we have these marvellous traditions that we're somehow set in our ways or old-fashioned, which is absolutely not the case. For us as a business, looking into the future, trying to be proactive in all ways is critically important. We've made a lot of changes to, for example, our design studio. We've massively expanded the team there. We're constantly buying new machinery, training our staff to have new capabilities. It's all about a flexibility and a variety of choices for our clients now. We love having our traditional crafts, and we still have a lot of people who do hand finishing and all of those wonderful hand processes that you would expect from a mill like us. But we also like to lead in terms of design and creativity, and that on that side of innovation, we think it's just so important not to just rest on your laurels and say, well, we have a great reputation because we're British or we're Scottish. If you stand still, you move backwards.
And Ailis, from your side, because obviously you're working with the clients to bring them something which is inspired by nature, how does being British and being Scottish affect that work? How does it inform that work?
Working on site, I feel we work so closely with the cloth that we can have a sort of very close relationship with our customers on the cloth development, and the suggestion of the natural images and colours from nature I'd mentioned are again just suggestions for our collection, to be able to present them a sort of concept and idea. And it's always exciting to see how they interpret this. And as Emily has covered, I think Scottish textiles maybe does hold on to those really strong traditional ideas, you know, tartans and sort of very like hand skills, and we managed to keep that, but also introduce, I suppose, like a modern take, whether that could be like a different style of check or a different base with an added feature, whether it's a new yarn.
I think what you've said, and I think this is interesting, is that you're a company that is inspired by your Scottish and British heritage and the nature around you, but not held back by it.
Exactly, yes.
I think there's the design studio are definitely taking inspiration from our surroundings every day, because we do live in a wonderful part of the country. We've got the beach on our doorstep, yes. We've got the lochs not far away, but I think also, you know, I don't know if it's I mean, you can probably tell from my accent that I've emigrated to Scotland rather than originally being from here. But I think that there's a kind of a Scottish attitude, which is, it's quite brave, it's willing to take risks. And that's very much something that you would see in our collections and our fabrics and products. That's the approach that our design studio very much take in the way that they approach things.
For me, what is so special about Scottish textiles is not only our heritage, but the fact that we're always trying to change the perception of what really is a piece of Scottish cloth.
And that's very much something that you would see in our collections and our fabrics and products. That's the approach that our design studio very much take in the way that they approach things.
Thank you both very much indeed.